Golly, that was a bit of a butt whooping, wasn't it? The hell was that game? Yo, the Knicks are hot right now. 5 wins in a row since the OG Anunoby trade. We even had some moments where we featured OG Anunoby in this game. The Knicks look phenomenal wire to wire yet again in another game. We've done it to one of the top teams against Philadelphia, to one of the bottom teams in Portland. It don't matter who it is. You're going to take this L however you're going to take this L, because the New York Knicks are playing great basketball right now. And there were other implications in this game because there was a player on said team that has been connected to the New York Knicks as of late. And well, let's just say if this was Hollywood and he was auditioning for a role, he wouldn't have got casted because he didn't look that good. But again, it's for his overall play, not just how he played against us last night. And I'm talking about Malcolm Brogdon. There's a lot of things to cover in this game. Brogdon trade possibilities, Dejounte Murray available now, and the New York Knicks hot play from our bench with Grimes and Deuce. Lot to talk about. Let's get through it. Run the intro. What's going on, CK Crew? Boy CK2K, and welcome back to another video. If you haven't already subscribed to the channel, hit the notification bell. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel. And don't forget to like the video, y'all. Like the damn video. People, I'm trying to get to 25,000 subscribers here before the end of the season. Let's get that thing up. I appreciate you guys. And also, big news, if you are in California, Southern California preferably, and you want to meet up with myself, CP, and the D's is nice. We got a meetup coming up on Saturday, hosted by CP. Make sure you guys come through. It's going to be over at 33 Taps in Los Angeles. So I'd love to see you guys there. I will be there for the Knicks Grizzlies game. Hope to see you guys there, and it'll be dope this Saturday. I'll see y'all then. All right, Knicks. Like, I don't even know what to really talk about with this video because we absolutely destroyed the Portland Trailblazers. Like, there were some things to talk about, like Julius Randle started off the game pretty cold, but he did a great job bringing it back together with the 20 points that he eventually scored. Jalen Brunson had, unfortunately, a dud night after A, getting named as player of the week, and B, having a standout game a few nights ago. So, you know, those things happened. But for however reason, the New York Knicks still went out here and almost won by 40 points yet again against another basketball team. I'm talking about Deuce McBride. I'm talking about Grimes. And I'm talking about none other than our newest Knick, OG Anunoby. OG Anunoby had 17 of his 23 points all in the first quarter. And then after that, we just didn't really need him to score because the Knicks had it from there. The defense was just aggressive. We were doing such a good job scoring, from shooting the 3-ball very consistently, from driving and passing. Julius Randle, it's like in the first half, he just decided that he was going to be in his Lamar Odom bag because even though his assist numbers weren't as high as they should have been, he was the main point to a lot of our offense in that first half that gave us the lead that ultimately turned into the blowout win that it was. There was one play where he went in for a drive after an OG Anunoby missed. He passed out to Brunson, which led to an extra pass to OG Anunoby, where this time he would hit the corner 3. It was plays like that that I feel like Julius Randle won't get enough credit for, but he definitely was the architect for a lot of what was going on last night offensively, whether it was from him scoring or moving the ball. But outside of our stars, let's talk a little bit about OG Anunoby real quick, because we haven't really had a big standout offensive performance from OG Anunoby. Now, mind you, I want to say this and get it out of the way. That's not who he is. So I'm not here sitting expecting that just because RJ Barrett had 37 points as a Raptor, now OG Anunoby has to. No. OG Anunoby's role is already solidified, and he's doing a great job in that role. And that's being the defensive juggernaut he is, the man that hits those open shots, especially those corner 3s that he does. And from occasion, he is always driving and ready for those passes in the lane. So OG has been doing a great job, but it is a great bonus to see a night like last night where OG Anunoby was aggressive. There were some points where we were featuring the offense through him. That's what you want to see with OG Anunoby, and that's all we're possibly asking for when it comes to OG Anunoby. OG Anunoby, phenomenal night. I could talk about him, but we also got to talk about our young guys in Deuce McBride and Quentin Grimes. These two all of a sudden have just found their confidence, and they are riding with it. I say it all the time. Confidence is a hell of a drug. And Deuce McBride, you could see once he first signed that extension, seemed a little timid coming off of the new contract, and people were worried. People were in my comment section. People were on Twitter talking about that Deuce McBride is not the guy to back up Jalen Brunson, we need to find somebody else. And Deuce McBride said, oh yeah? And he has been a flamethrower since. He had a few games off and figured it out since. And it's not just him, Quentin Grimes. Another thing I say all the time is Quentin Grimes has the prettiest shot on the New York Knicks. Hell, I'd argue in the NBA, but I'm sure there's a lot of people that have other people. But Quentin Grimes' shot always looks like it's going to go in. And to that, I tell Grimes, shoot the damn ball whenever you get it. And now Grimes has been hitting those shots, and the confidence, you can tell, is through the roof. This dude is taking step back threes. The amount of contested three-point shots that he's hitting as if there's no defense in front of him. Grimes is a solid offensive player, and we're seeing that now on top of the defense that we already know that we get from both of these young guys. So while the Knicks are still going to be looking for that offensive help, because I still feel like we need it. I mean, the fact of the matter is we did blow this team out, but we did stop scoring. We were stuck at 102 points for a long period of time while we still had some key players in the game. So I still believe that offense is still something we should be looking for in trades. We'll talk about some of the trade prospects later on in the video. But without that, we are seeing that our New York Knicks players that are in the rotation right now, if there's no trade ever made, we're seeing guys stepping up, and that's all you can ask for. These guys stepping up. I mean, we're even hearing Tom Thibodeau talking about how it's just the vibes are great right now.
So this is a good stretch, but there's a lot of things that sometimes it's a missed shot that's, you know, wide open too. So there's a variance to the shot making, but I think the spirit of the team is really strong right now.
Even though Julius Randle tends to disagree because he said something else during practice.
He cussed us out in practice. Or he cussed us out in practice. I think game 7 of the finals. So I really don't know. But I'm glad he feels that way.
But that's all you want to see. Great play. 5-0 since the trade. OG Anunoby looking good. Deuce McBride, Quentin Grimes, everything that you could possibly want from this game, we got. Cannot complain. But let's speak a little bit into the trade conversation, shall we? Now, mind you, one of the biggest trade topics has been Malcolm Brogdon. For whatever reason, the last few days, Malcolm Brogdon's name has been starting to heat up around the New York Knicks. It's being rumored that Malcolm Brogdon is the guy that the New York Knicks are going to be targeting in a trade before the trade deadline. I mean, we're hearing it from everybody, from your mama, from a GM, from this person, from that person. Everybody's all of a sudden talking about Malcolm Brogdon being the guy. Hey, CK, what do you think about that? Well, honestly, Malcolm Brogdon is a hell of a player. When he's on the floor, when he's active, when he's playing for something, Malcolm Brogdon has shown that he is a very, very valuable player. Hell, he was Rookie of the Year. Don't forget that. But the big issue with him is the same issue I have with OG Anunoby, and that's health. So far, OG Anunoby has looked like he is trying to play through whatever bangs and bruises he's got, which is something we can't say that he's done typically in the past, as 75 games seems to be the max that you would get out of him, which to me is still fine. And if you look at the recent amount of games that Malcolm Brogdon has played, it's only going lower and lower each season. So there is that worry. But again, you take injuries and missed games with a grain of salt with certain players, because at the level of Malcolm Brogdon and what he's played for and being a buck and stuff like that, I feel like if he has something to play for, you tend to play through certain type of injuries that you would miss games on with teams like the Blazers, where it wouldn't really matter. Like I said, I'm holding the injury thing with a grain of salt, but it is something that is on my radar. But outside of that, if the Knicks were to make a move for Malcolm Brogdon, I think it's a tremendous pickup. Malcolm Brogdon gives you leadership off the bench. He gives you offense, and he's also a pretty solid defender. Yeah, he's gonna have nights like last night against the New York Knicks, but I think that's just a product of that entire Blazers team playing terribly, more so than Malcolm Brogdon being bad. I know people were pointing fingers at Brogdon because he played terrible against us. But a few nights ago, Brogdon had back-to-back 20-plus games where he was out there playing well. So I'm not really worried and really pointing to that one game he had against us. I think he would be a good, solid piece off the bench. I think the question we have to start looking at is who loses minutes for Brogdon if we make that trade. But we'll cross that bridge when we get to it. But Malcolm Brogdon, like I said, he's the circle for a lot of trades. But the other guy that's the circle for a lot of trades is Dejounte Murray. And now it's starting to come out that Dejounte Murray, since he's available now to finally be traded, it's looking like the New York Knicks might not have enough to get him, because now the reports are that the New York Knicks might have given up some of the major bargaining chips that they had to get Dejounte Murray, which is something that I said in my last video that might be a problem. I mean, there was rumors that the draft picks would be enough with some of the players, but like I said in my last video, I'm a little worried that that wouldn't be enough. I think IQ was a big circle point into being able to get Dejounte Murray, and with us getting rid of him, I think that hurt our chances a little bit. And now we're starting to hear that from the insiders. And, you know, once the insiders say it, then it becomes more real. But I think anybody that watches the game should realize that we probably don't have enough to get him. But that being said, it's not impossible because anything can happen. I mean, ex-Nick Landry feels it's still their GM. We can probably work something out. Business is business. But for the most part, it might be tough getting Dejounte Murray. I wouldn't be surprised if he ends up over in LA, or we saw the rumor about San Antonio. It's crazy how fast y'all get these Photoshop photos out, man. Like, how did y'all put him in a San Antonio jersey so perfectly? Like, it looks... So I don't know, but like I said, Dejounte Murray is somebody I really like. I mean, we're starting to hear people think that it wouldn't work with him and Brunson. I completely disagree. I think Dejounte Murray's improved offense helps him be able to play off ball a little bit, and the way that Jalen Brunson's been playing as of late by moving the ball and making great passes and stuff like that. As long as Dejounte Murray is able to open the floor and make those shots, I think the two of them can do a very good job handing over the ball. I'm not really entirely worried about it, especially if we have a lot of instances where one's on the bench while the other one plays outside of the two of them starting. I think Tom Thibodeau can figure that out. I think it's a lot of over-the-top worrying when it comes to the two of them pairing up. I think it makes more sense for the two of them rather than Trae Young and Dejounte, but that's just me. But possibility. You think Dejounte Murray ends up being a Knick? You think Malcolm Brogdon becomes a Knick? Or do you think the Knicks don't need to make a trade? That's another argument that's coming around. I know I've mentioned other names like, you know, Terry Rozier and stuff that we're not hearing publicly talked about, but I feel like those are players that we could keep an eye on. Jordan Clarkson's still a guy that a lot of people are really hoping for, but we're not really hearing much about that. But the thought process is right now with the New York Knicks playing the way that they're playing in these last 5 games, some people think that there's no need to make a trade. Are you in that camp? But I'm also worried in that one instant where the streak ends and, you know, can you really trust, and this is with peace and love, this is not me talking down on anyone, but can you really trust that Deuce McBride or a Quentin Grimes or hell, even a Josh Hart can be consistent enough to get you buckets when you need buckets if a Jalen Brunson is not hitting a shot, if a Julius Randle is shooting pretty poorly from the field, if you're getting 6 to 8 points from OG Anunoby? Do you trust your bench guys to be able to step up and get points like that when it comes to the playoffs? That's where I believe we still do need that other offensive mind, whether it is a bench piece or another starter. We do know, if we learn anything from Josh Hart, the Josh Hart trade, that, you know, things tend to come back to reality a little bit, and we're going to have to depend on a few other aspects to this team. So I do think it's important that we make a trade to bring in more offense for this team, somebody that is more known to be an offensive minded guy, somebody that we can get high level offense from off the bench. There is that argument that maybe we don't even need to make the trade. Let me know which side you're on. Let me know your thoughts about everything mentioned in this video in the comments below. Tomorrow we play against the Dallas Mavericks. Jalen Brunson gets his revenge. Did he play against Dallas last year? I don't remember. I'll be live over on KFTV for the play-by-play there, so I hope to see you guys then. But before that, make sure you subscribe right here. Hit the notification bell. Do not forget to like this video. People trying to get to 25,000 subscribers. And we're getting there pretty fast, and it's all thanks to you guys. Appreciate the support. I'll see you guys in the next video. Let's get it. Knicks are hot, baby. 5-0. Let's make it 6 tomorrow. Yes, sir.
Cold pizza like Tuesday. I got food up in the fridge. Y'all keep looking for that new wave. I think I like it how it is.